Good evening, all. So we'll begin with our session. As people are joining, let them join. All right. So here, we're as a follow-up of whatever we were seeing in the last session. For those who could not attend the previous session, I have provided the video recording for you to go through it. So this time, I'm thinking that it would be nice for me to have interaction with all of you. Yesterday, last session, due to the content, too much of content which I wanted to deliver, there was very less time for participants to interact, and I felt that this time I'll just address one at a time, and later on discussions will be helpful for us. As all of you know, we are conducting this session for people in different departments of work. Could be social workers, could be psychologists, budding counselors, therapists, and people who really want to help someone else who is suffering from this, or some of us also could be going through this. Whatever is said and done, we are going to use it in a application oriented way, and we are not here for sharing our disclose our personal. No, it's not like that. You can have your own filters when you're having a discussion. Suppose, if, for example, if your friend or someone has an issue, instead of giving names and talking about it, we can talk it in a we can put it up across in a nicer way, so that it is useful for you to get the takeaway, and at the same time maintain the confidentiality and dignity of that person. All right, hope you understood. So here I would like to highlight the difference between silence and silent treatment. So what I mean by silence here is, sometimes when we have a quarrel with the spouse, with our spouse, it can be a female who's maintaining the silence, or it could be a male who's maintaining the silence. Sometimes they maintain that silence. Why? Because maybe they want to avoid that quarrel at that point of time, or they want to just let them vent their emotions, and they want some time, they want to take some time so that they will address it maybe after 1 hour. They just walk out, they will take a walk and they come back, and maybe that day night they console and talk to the spouse. Or if it's a woman, maybe she's she does her evening pujas, or she sits in a relaxed place. She finishes her cooking. Till then, she doesn't want to open her mouth to the spouse. And but later on, maybe the spouse also, she felt that was the spouse was feeling upset, and she didn't want to disturb him that night. And the next day, when he's preparing to get to office. She comes and speaks to him, saying that I'm sorry, and this is what I really wanted to convey, because you were upset yesterday. I didn't want to burden you by conveying this, or something they will say. This is silence. Silence can exist in a healthy relationship, but we cannot get confused between silence versus silent treatment. People who are abusive, we were looking into the aspect of passive aggression. See, when you hit people, and they have bruises, and they're bleeding or whatever, it is shown outside. But this kind of passive aggression cannot be shown outside, because it all happens in the mind, in the head. So what is this silent treatment? Generally, people who have narcissistic traits. In narcissism, there can be different types of narcissism. We are not getting into those details, but we are going to focus on what could be certain kind of signs and symptoms which we are seeing in a survivor? I mean, we are seeing a survivor being affected of, or what a particular abusive partner is exhibiting, so that we can render the right kind of help to that survivor. First, it is very necessary for us to make the client understand whether, if that person who is a victim of emotional abuse is coming to you, it is first important for us to acknowledge the fact, for them to give them that awareness and acknowledge the fact whether they are still in the victim state or they have moved on to the survivor state. Victim will always be in the uh, crying mode, or always upset mode, and not taking any step or action, or no self help. All this is absent in the victim mode. When it comes to the survivor, they have awareness that they're going through something, and there is a definite need to help themselves from this situation. So they are trying whatever they can with whatever resources is available to them. So here, um, silent treatment is something which is very unhealthy. It can be toxic, and it is definitely abusive. So, what is this silent treatment? It's a manipulation technique that people who don't want to communicate the truth to the partner, who do not want to address any one particular issue which the partner wants to address, they can use silent treatment as a form of manipulating them. By staying calm, they think that they can escape from whatever questions are being put on them. So, if there is some important issue, it can be anything. When it is about running a household, there can be different things that a couple can be discussing about. It can be regarding the finances, very important aspect, finances, decisions in terms of children, what they're going to do next, which school they're going to put them in, or what their children are doing, who's going to attend the parent teacher meeting. And if there are some loans, it can be shared loans. And There are various things for a couple to address. It could be about relatives attending ceremonies, and both can be working people. So, balancing work and time. Sometimes there will be a need for both of them to assist each other in household chores as well, to do the kitchen work. So I think in our society, we have already labeled, or we have already assigned certain tasks for women and assigned certain tasks for men for many years. That the kitchen is a woman's job, sweeping, mopping is a woman's job. And I think nowadays, people, healthy minded men are also taking part in such things, and there is an equal exchange of responsibility where one person is not always burdened. We cannot always have one person burdened, and so such things can be taken care of when we are maintaining that kind of equality and the dignity towards each other. So the basis for any relationship is love, trust, respect. So if the three components are missing, then there is some struggles in the basic foundation of that of that relationship. And if the basic foundation is not very strong, then there can arise a lot of issues. So when it comes to some important issues about a loan closure, or about any such issue, it is very important for that partner also who is involved in it to talk about it. Maybe one partner doesn't want to talk about it or discuss about it to the with the wife, when there is equal sharing of finances. Maybe the wife also invested, the spouse is also, I mean, the husband is also investing certain amount of money, and the wife wants to have an open discussion with the husband on how we are going to take this forward. When are we trying to close the loan? What are certain steps that we can take? um, can we pay a bigger amount of principal so that our interest can come down, or can we change bank from a private bank to a nationalized bank so that our interest is followed by the norms, because private banks don't keep certain norms. I'm just giving you an example from a case which I recently saw. The main problem was between this, but the problem is not the loan. The problem is not about the wife asking questions, but the problem was about the man not answering the question. If you give the appropriate response to your spouse, they will not repeat the same question again and again. So when the man feels that it's overwhelming for him to handle that loan, if he feels that he is still stuck in the problem, he has not maybe come to the solution focused mode. But the wife has already come to the solution focused mode. But the man wants to just escape the topic. He can have his own fears. He can have fears like, will she ask me to contribute this particular income which I've generated from a source for the loan? He can have his own concerns. We don't know what his concerns will be. Will she ask any, demand any money from me? But right now I don't have that money, or I'm not, I have that money but I'm not willing to interest invest it for this purpose. I'm not interested to invest it for this purpose. Let her take responsibility. Maybe that also can be the inner thought of the person. But to sit and talk about it and negotiate about whatever you are feeling, you can feel that way. Maybe you have some other commitment. Maybe the husband has some other commitment and he needs that money for maybe his family, or he wants to contribute to his mother or whatever. To sit and talk in a nice way, to sit and talk in a polite way and address that issue is very important, because somebody is raising a concern. Somebody is also who is a equal investor is raising a concern. It is your responsibility as a spouse and the head of the family to talk about it, to tell them. If you're not going to tell them, then whom are you going to tell? If you're not, whether it is a woman or whether it is a man, if you're not able to talk to your own spouse, then whom are you going to talk to? Right. So the issue is always unresolved, and that will obviously be bothering the person's mind. In this case, that woman's mind, the wife's mind. Why is he not talking about it? So some many questions will start uh, going on and on in the head of the person who has not got a response. Why is he doing this? What is the problem? What could be the problem? Is he financially stuck somewhere? All these kind of questions will raise. Or does he really doesn't don't have that money? Is he not interested in the property? What is his intention? What could be his intention? Such things. So the when that particular individual is asking something to the spouse and there is no proper response from the other end, then they end up feeling worthless. And they obviously can feel unloved. Maybe he doesn't love me, so that's why maybe he's not revealing things to me. So such things. So there can be, so as I told you, they will definitely, that the person will feel hurt. So you just move away by not giving the response when somebody asks a question, or just sitting there digging the phone or watching TV and making a pretense that you did not hear what the other person communicated. So such things can leave the person feel worthless, unloved, hurt, confused, frustrated. How many times to ask? I already asked you thrice, four times I asked, five times I asked. I did not get a response. Beyond that, if I ask, maybe he shows the other face, that angry face, that like children, small children use this term, red angry. I'm red angry. My nephew used to say. So maybe they get into that red angry face. Um, yeah, and so the person might feel unimportant as well. So when one or both partners sulk, frown, or refuse to talk, so this is a kind of exerting a cruel type of power. No, some kind of cruelty. This is when you're not giving answers to people. Maybe the you don't know what the other person is suffering, because you are not giving an answer. The other person might suffer mentally. The other person may be not able to sleep properly. The other person is maybe not able to focus properly. So many things the person can go through. So it's a very cruel type of power in the relationship that not only shuts out the partner but also communicates that they do not care enough to try to communicate or collaborate. So when you're in a collaboration with the other person, this is not like possible. People use the silent treatment to control the situation or conversation. So towards the end, the abuser, the person who's causing the abuse, can feel that I have taken control over the situation. And some people don't like to take responsibility by nature. Okay, so that is how their pattern has been, and that is how their upbringing has been. For whatever reasons, they just want to skip responsibility. Or some people will never admit when they are wrong. It is like too much for them to admit the fact that I have done something wrong. They cannot accept it. So that is one category. So some examples of passive aggressive behavior. So when they don't like something, they are not openly stating that I'm not willing to do. This is the most cruel thing which someone can do to someone else. If I don't like something, it is always my freedom to always say no. No, I am not interested. Let us not work on it. There's something which you can communicate, but just shaking the head for whatever you are saying just to manage that situation, and later on like trying to postpone it or drag it. So if you're asking them for some help, they might want to do it for a longer time. They want to take a longer time to finish it, and for such things. And they will never tell you when they are actually going to complete the task or when they are going to execute the task. Such things they will not communicate. And sometimes when we ask, what do you feel about it? I feel that something is not okay with you. Are you angry? You seem to be angry. They'll say, no, I'm not angry. I'm perfectly fine. Everything is fine with me. Such kind of statements. So passive aggression we would have seen in our day-to-day lives also, not to the extent of abuse also, but we know that the other person is not happy with whatever is happening from their body language or whatever they're doing. No, and they complain about situations with other people that bother them, as a means to indirectly say that they're unhappy. Yeah, maybe to someone, no, they say some story which is about you. You know that it is about you, but they will be talking about it, and sometimes we will be put in a situation to ignore it as well. That also some of the people can be going through, who are survivors. So keeping always a checking card of what I'm receiving in this relationship, and no, what else can be done about it, no such things, and always like having a kind of weighing. I contributed this much, so what can I do when I do some service at home? Service in the sense some kitchen work, some physical help I provided for the spouse. So I have entitlement over this particular money because I did this to you. You didn't give me anything in favor of it. This also can be the attitude of some people. Not everybody is the same. Everybody's traits and symptoms can differ in milder ways. Okay, this is again for the survivors. What can we do? What can be done? I request you to just give a reading. So, first step is for us to recognize about what is actually happening. What is actually the problem? Is the problem with me? Sometimes that self doubt also comes. Did I do something wrong to the other person? Is that is why they're not talking to me, or what is exactly the problem? Just to recognize that the person is doing such things to us. One thing is when we're handling with, when you're handling whether it is your client or whether it is someone, whether it's your spouse or a family member, it is very very important for that particular survivor to have the anger in check. So they might do various, they may use various techniques, they may play various kind of mind games, but it's very important for us, for that survivor, to work on their emotional stability, which is mandatory. Speak about the individual's feelings. Whatever that individual is going through, the individual has all right to express it to the wife, whether it's a male or a female. Like in a non-judgmental way, they can try this method of using a non-judgmental way, yet factual way to talk about it. Example: spouse clearly upset about having to do course. Okay, so on a Sunday, maybe it's um, whom to say, wife or husband. It's a husband whom the wife is wanting to clean up their room, taking some help to clean up their room. So, in that case, the other person is feeling um, some kind of discomfort, or is not happy with the decision, or is not happy with whatever was conveyed, whatever. So the spouse understands that, the wife understands that the husband is upset about the fact that he was asked to clean up the room. So instead of saying some other statements, we can put it in a nicer way by saying, "You seem to be not okay, to clean the room. Are you feeling tired? May I lend you a helping hand? Can we do it together? So we can think only when we have emotional stability, the we will be capable of putting such statements towards the partner. So this is what we will be trying to teach in case when somebody is facing this, we can teach them these kind of techniques to handle it. Facts should be presented, but in a non-judgmental way is the point. Addressing behaviors without pointing fingers or assigning blame may make it easier for them to open up. It also lets them know that you recognize the passive aggression and aren't going to let it slide without talking things out. So they must know this is also one of the step of putting the foot down. I put my foot down, and I I'm not ready to compromise unless I'm getting a response. Even my life is also involved in it, and my finances are involved in it, or my some kind of work, my physical work, whatever. When it is my own my own children. So I will not like compromise and go away if you're just giving me the silent treatment, or you're just trying to avoidance, whatever, no. But I will also put my foot down, and uh, convey to the partner that I will not go away, I will not stop asking questions because you are giving me this kind of a passive aggressive treatment. By staying quiet, by not talking to me, or by even like sometimes in many case of women, no, they give the silent treatment by going to the mother's house. They may go and sit in the mother's house and totally stop contact with the husband because they asked a question and the wife is not willing to address that question. So it's a silent treatment. The man will be very confused, the man will be suffering. So this woman will happily take I mean, for their comfort, they will take the kids and go. So this man will be missing the kids. This man will cry. Even I've seen people men who will not shame off and to cry, because in our society they will that not that easily expose that vulnerability in front of a person. So she's doing this to me. Suddenly she ghosted me, but they will come back again after some time. Mostly these kind of people will be fragile personalities with very less confidence, so they will not be able to stand for themselves. They'll anyway come back, so that's a different story. But I'm just trying to explain to you that how that survivor can be helped is by putting the same in a nicer way and try to get the point addressed. So they should understand that this person will not leave me unless we give a responsible reply. Allow the person, give them the opportunity to work through how they are feeling. We don't have to rush up. We don't have to make them answer in a gunpoint. Now you have to answer. Otherwise, I will kill myself. I cannot tell this. I have to give that person some time after communicating that. If you are not going to give me a proper answer, if you're not going to give me a responsible reply, I will not take this silent treatment, or I will not just go on adjusting to whatever the situation is, because you know very well about my vulnerability that I will make many sacrifices for the family, because there are children in the family. You know very well that I will not break the relationship and go out for my children, for the sake of my kids. You know that very well that I will not do it, so you are continuing to giving me this kind of a treatment. So give them some time to also process that. They will not be just let we will not let them go away by not giving us a response when it is very mandatory to gives response. I'm talking about the important aspects where they are also involved, we are also involved, and they need to give a response. Give them the space they need to figure out their emotions and handle them accordingly. So it's some people will say, I don't know whether they say it to men, but they will say it to women. Why can't you treat him like your child? Why can't you be a mother to him? Such statements they will say. But I think, how is it possible? Because generally, in our culture, the woman gets married to a man who's quite elder to her. Mostly it happens that way, some except some exceptional cases. So that woman can be only a mother to her child, or she can be a mother to the children whom she's working with. Maybe if she's a teacher, she can also be a mother to her other children of similar age group in her family. But how can she be a mother to someone who was born even before she was born? It's not possible. A wife will be always a wife. A husband will be a only a husband. A husband will. Okay, I cannot expect my spouse to be my father, my brother. All these things I cannot do. There are different people to play those roles, right? So that kind of dialogues maybe we can avoid. We can give a response to them when such things are put on the survivor, because many a times the survivor is questioned a lot compared to the other person, because they also know a little bit about the other person, that the person will not comply. So what else, they don't want the family to break, so why can't you adjust, can be a kind of scenario in which they put mostly the other person in. So, certain things which the survivor can avoid showing vulnerability, like emotional outbursts, crying in front of them. Because when people lack empathy, crying in front of them means nothing to them. Crying in front of them, how many ever times you cry, that is not bothered, they are not bothered about it, because there is a pure lack of empathy there. But the person can feel irritated, because they know very well that they, though they don't acknowledge the fact, they know very well that they're crying because of whatever they're doing. And at the same time, some people can consider the tears of the spouse as their victory. I'm feeling satisfied because you're crying, I won over you, can be the intention of the other person. When that is the intention of the other person and they are getting some hike out of it, they will continue the same repetitive behavior, and the other partner will also continue to use that same pattern of crying. So, somewhere the survivor is letting the abuser win here, and compelling that particular individual to give a response. Whoever is using that silent treatment, whoever is a passive aggressor, we are forcing that person to give a reply, give me the answer, give me the answer. From morning to night, the same thing is running in the head of the other person, the spouse. And they keep on asking these questions to the wife, and they don't give it. Banging on the wall, some people will do this. When they are not getting what they're asking from the spouse, I'm talking about the survivors who are still in the victim state only. Okay. They will do such things like banging on the wall, thinking that if I hurt myself, my spouse will feel bad for it, and he will come down, or she will come down, shouting at home. So all this, no, it's a total emotional drain. It's a total negativity which the survivor goes through. This will lead to an emotional breakdown. The person might also go to a state where they can only survive with the help of some antidepressants, because the person will not be able to sleep. The person will not able to give rest to their brain. They're going through a lot of things, because whatever is necessary for the survival is not being addressed by the spouse, and it's very important. Understand that it's a pattern the person learned in their life even prior to meet to your meeting. So no way you are, I mean, the survivor is responsible for it, because the abuser has learned this behavior not just after meeting him. Some of them might say, until marriage, he was such a good person, or until marriage, she was so good, she was so nice, she used to take so much responsibility, she was like very nice, and she's a very nice human being. Such things they might say in that individual's family or their circle, because anyway they don't want to let their daughter or their son, they don't want them to be let down. But this is some pattern which they would have been following for a very long time, and at least a little bit of signs and symptoms of what they are doing, the person who is close to them will definitely know. It could be a mother, it could be a father, it could be a sibling, or some relatives, someone in the relative circle, or some friends also might know. They might be following similar patterns in office as well, and it's very difficult for most of such people with fragile personalities or low confidence to just prove themselves at work. Many a times they will be a people pleaser. There's a chance that people with passive aggression are people pleasers in the work environment, in the social circle. They will try to impress people just to cover up with whatever they are not capable of. People who are confident with themselves can communicate assertively. They're capable of saying no. They're capable of saying even yes when they feel it is yes. But only these kind of people who cannot survive independently can be people pleasers, pleasing the manager, or trying to do favors for others. And that's how they grow. And that's the pattern they learn to keep themselves in that functionality as a professional or whatever job they are into, whatever it is. So one more thing that we can do is that consciously choosing the small support group. So we can educate a client who comes to us to have very few people can be in that group. It can be a 3 or 4 people in the group to whom we are discussing this. It can be a friend, it can be a colleague, it can be sibling, neighbor, anyone. Just for venting out whatever the person is going through, because that is very mandatory. It's very important to vent out emotions. Keeping it inside will affect the physical health of that individual. They have to speak out, they have to say, okay, it's okay. Not everybody here is. Here to judge us. It is only our well wishers whom we are choosing in that small support group, whom you can just talk your heart out over a telephone conversation or over a WhatsApp chat, whatever it is. But not to strangers, not strangers. Only to people who are well known to us, who have been our support system in times of need. And sometimes one mistake people can make is that the survivors can make is that they will be counting on the spouse again for emotional venting. Anything I will only go and tell it to my wife. I want her emotional support. I want her. I am not ready to leave her. She is my love. Whatever it is. No? Maybe they might be see one partner. We don't know whether they're faking love or they genuinely love or it's an emotional addiction or they need a partner for the society. That we don't know. But the survivor can have love towards the other partner, that we don't know. They may have a lot of love towards them also. So such people who are emotional might think that it is my wife. Without my wife, there is no world for me. I will go behind her. They also use statements like என்ன செருப்பால் அடிச்சா கூட பரவாயில்ல என் பொண்டாட்டி தானே எனக்கு என்ன வெக்கம் இருக்கு நான் அவ பின்னாடி போவேன். Such things they used to say. That's fine, it's up to them. But to counting on them for emotional venting and having this expectation that they will understand them is quite a wrong decision. And in the given circumstance, they can lack empathy. Certain times they may show empathy when it comes to something, certain things, but certain topics which they don't like, when you're raising questions or concerns about it, they may not be in a position to acknowledge it. And then always giving these kind of statements like, you don't love me. I'm talking about the survivor. The survivor is capable of giving such statements that, you don't love me, uh, you are the worst husband or wife on the earth, such statements. Immediately give me a reply. My biggest mistake was to marry you. Such things. Some will also tell that I will commit suicide if you don't give me love or whatever. No, can you threaten someone and get it? It's not possible. So one big thing which the survivor can do for themselves is to find their life goal, to focus on some career. Yes, of course, your spouse is part of your life and very integral part of your life, but not everybody is blessed with happy families. Every family has their own burden to care, and if you have taken a decision to travel with this person for whatever reasons, then try to draw boundaries. People with abusive tendencies will not may not respect boundaries, but still we have a role here to maintain boundaries and try to work on it, to do something related to higher studies, developing hobbies for the self, and developing that individual's personality. Okay, so this is the last slide, after which we are going to have some discussions. So, forgiveness is one thing which we can give it as a gift to these people who abuse the person. This should be, this forgiveness is for the survivor to give it to the abusive spouse. It doesn't mean that the survivor will continue to live with the abusive partner. It is that individual's choice depending on how much of this they can handle. Sometimes we try, and sometimes it will work, sometimes it will not work. It will even get worse depending upon the abusive tendencies of that particular spouse. We have only seen passive aggression. Next, we will be seeing what stonewalling is and the different kinds of abusive methodologies people can use. And not everybody has a narcissistic personality disorder until there is a diagnosis given. But people without narcissistic personality disorder also can have a little bit of traits of narcissism. Even you and I can have a little bit of narcissistic traits, kind of a little being a little superior or whatever, no? When we are not that confident or self-fulfilled, but that's a different scenario. Unless it is affecting the other person, it's not wrong. When you're not able to keep your own spouse and your family safe and happy, the same pattern which follows with a spouse may happen with the children also. Children will be going through a lot when the parents are going through these kind of things. So maybe we think of forgiveness, whether we are living with the same person or not, still we can give them forgiveness. And it's a choice that we make. It's not necessary for us to continue the abusive relationship. And still, for some valid reasons, when I feel that it is manageable, I can manage it, I can handle it, I'll give it a try. There's nothing wrong. I can handle it because I'm emotionally, like, I know what I want. I know my what I'm quite independent. I can take care of my kids. I can take care of myself. So let me just see. Unless he's like very harmful to me, I don't want to drop on this relationship. This is a conscious decision that that particular partner is taking. Then fine. But whether we are living with them or not, one thing we can do is detox the mind. So maybe is giving certain forgiveness, mind wise giving certain forgiveness. We are not going to tell this to them. We are not going to tell this to the abuser. This is just a kind of mind wise which we can give it to ourselves, or help your survivor client to give it to themselves. I am sorry. I forgive you. So they might have hurt that survivor for whatever reason. So bless them with what they want. Just by giving a statement in your mind, I bless you to receive all that you want. You can still be living with them, you may not be living with them, but maybe the person is doing injustice or is being abusive because of the need for money or public image. It can be name, fame, appreciation, whatever it is. Feel sorry for whatever they are. They're a product of whatever has happened to them, or their genes or something. They're not healthy. They're not healthy people. Healthy minded people will not do this to other people. Something they are not mentally healthy. So it's very necessary to preserve your mental peace. And just to, if we are carrying those baggages, it might lead to aggression. We displace it at other places. Sometimes we are not having that freeness of mind. Maybe we are not able to sleep, we are not able to handle other relationships properly. Maybe there is less focus on our children. When such things, less career focus, when such things are happening, just bless that person, just forgive that person. It's okay, they're like that. I feel sorry for them. I really feel sorry for this person. I really forgive this person because this person is unwell and is also not in a state to recognize the fact that they're unwell. So I pity the person, but I will still, my wellness is my priority. I will look into what I need to do. So this is what this is I wanted to convey in today's session. So yes, the floor is open for you for discussions. You can tell me about your takeaways. You can tell me about your experiences about with your clients or anyone whom you met or people you know, whatever it is. You know, like you can give me some feedbacks about, so that it will be useful for the others as well to understand. Or any doubts on how to handle that abusive partner. Also, you can go ahead. Yeah, anyone. You can even tell me about what's your takeaway from today's session. Please come forward to speak. No one has any takeaways from what we spoke.
Actually, this is very new for us to listen, right? Maybe we are all going through so many things, but we're attending the section first time like this. See, as for me, a lot of things I experienced, I myself handled in better way. However, it is comfortable, however, is convenience with a lot of effort, hurt, cry, whatever you said, no. Without third party, I myself handled it in all so many years. Uh, Now I'm just taking care of myself. Financially independent past 5 years. It's not mean that I don't want. It's not mean that he's not giving money, something like that. I myself find that this is a right way to be self-respect. We have to give for us first. Otherwise, in so many places, we have to stand in front of them to be answerable, even though we are correct.
Yes, happens.
So nobody is a villain in any stories. However, they born and brought up, some way they're behaving as they think, they believes that this is the way of life, this is the system, you have to be like this and all. Where somewhere they also fail without their knowledge. Somewhere we don't know, we trust 100%. That is our mistake. That somebody will do everything for us, and soon after we'll be knowing no, it's not going to happen. So through all this process only we'll be knowing what are the advantage or disadvantage, what are the strength as mainly strength. We'll be knowing what we have.
Definitely.
Incidents, lot of incidents happen. It's like a personal, very personal incidents. Though I'm not able to reveal everything in the thing, but sometimes he always tells, through experience only I've learned a lot of things. I always tell all the young generations to be very independent. Even husband is taking care of them or not, that is a different story. Just be independent, be strong. Yesterday, incident happened in my street. Yesterday, after the session, art class, art therapy was happened. No,
Yes, ma'am.
I had my dinner. I just went out for a walk. Just 10 minutes walk. I want to take a break. There is a girl who just my neighbor to house. She came out from the house with a big cry. Suddenly, I hear the sound. What was happening? She came with, and her left eyes was swollen. I was really shocked to see that girl. What happened? She said, nothing, nothing. Like that. I said, what, something is happening. You want me to help you? Vanda, Vanda, na வீட்டுக்குள்ள போகணும். I said, okay, you go. What happened? I'm asking. She's not ready to tell. But some fight was happened inside, I think. My husband வந்து அடிச்சிட்டாரு என்ன, பட் எனக்கு பயமா இருக்கு, நான் உள்ள போறேன் அப்படின்னா. எனக்கு என்ன சொல்றதுன்னே தெரியல. I don't know how to help her. Just I gave my number. That is the only thing I can do it on that moment. I gave her number. I told her, if any emergency, you can call me. Which I came home, but whole night I am not able to sleep. But morning she called me at 8 o'clock. She told me nothing. I'm fine only. Thanks for giving your number. By mistake, it happens. We had a quarrel between my husband and wife, and he didn't hit me. நான் வந்து கொஞ்சம் ஜாஸ்தியா பேசிட்டேன். அவர் என்னை தள்ளி விட்டாரு. By mistake, I got a hit from my window. She told me. I didn't ask anything. I said, okay, take care. I told, and I came back.
Mm,
See, like this every day, something's happening in every family. So wherever we can help, we can help. Definitely, we can help at least through something.
definitely.
This takeaway, yeah, lot of takeaway is there. When in this group itself, if you're not aware of so many things, they can take your idea. They can get in how to handle husband, how can handle the things in better way. Instead of shouting, crying is not going to work out. Shouting is not going to work out. Being silent also is not going to well. They have to be little firm. They have to stand for themselves in certain situation. Uh, they have to be strong. That's it I can say.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing so much of information with us.
Thank you.
Next person. What's your takeaway from today's session? Is Kumati ma'am, Abhilasha ma'am, Srividya ma'am, Aarti, anyone? Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Today, as a takeaway, I can say like emotionally regulating. Sorry, regulating our emotions. That is the point I'm impressed with. We have to regulate our emotions by uh, checking our behavior pattern, where we
Correct.
are doing the mistakes, where we are attracting those type of people in our life, uh, like that. By fixing that, we can regulate our emotions gradually. Um, then that silent treatment is very painful now. I want to say we cannot express it in words.
Exactly.
It can be felt.
Even if someone hits
Then
also, we will be able to show the scar that they hit
we
us.
have some proof to show that.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's a very
and
cunning way
then
to manipulate.
yeah, exactly, ma'am. Yeah, and then as you said, the recognizing the signs very earlier, like that something, backhanded compliments, procrastination, withdrawal, and all. Um, for some healthy mindset people know they couldn't notice the signs what they are doing to knowing itself is getting late, I think. Healthy people know they see it in okay, they will behave like us only.
Yes,
they
yes.
they treat yeah, in that way. uh, Many of us are ignoring the red flags in the earlier
Wow.
uh, this
In
thing.
the initial stage
And
itself, if that individual could have got some clarity, maybe they would have handled it better. But maybe that individual didn't understand at all because that individual was confused most of the time.
yes, ma'am,
Because you
exactly, ma'am.
always keep them in confusion. One time you're so nice, one time you're totally a different person, and you're very unpredictable. And mostly people with narcissistic traits or any other personality disorder are not capable of maintaining emotional stability. They cannot be stable emotionally. So that is one thing
Ma'am,
which.
slowly self, uh, we lose our identity. As you said, we will handle it in a better way. But slowly, they people erode our self-esteem, our confidence, through manipulation or whatever, gaslighting or whatever techniques. No, now only I came to know those techniques. Earlier, we don't know what they are doing.
Hmm.
Only crying is the this thing. Yeah.
Even now, many of
That it
them
is
don't
really
know, man. That is why we all are educating and sharing information with each other so that we can be of some help to someone. Because most of us in this group
yes,
are counselors, we are professionals in different fields, some of us are teachers. We will be able to take it to other people. So that is an
yes,
important role that all of us have, like how Rana ma'am has. She's an experienced teacher. She's a special educator. She's like helped a lot of people. She works with a lot of parents. Will definitely be helpful for her in many ways to guide a parent who is facing this kind of situation and who comes with a child with some kind of a learning challenge. Kindly, those who are not speaking, please mute
some
your.
people they don't know what they are going through also. That is the, even if we try to help them also, they are not ready to accept it. They are telling some excuses or convincing themselves, this may be like this may be like that. So they have to get more self-awareness and clarity when someone is helping them. That is what I.
Hmm.
But
Yes.
overall, the session is very good, ma'am. Lot of insights I have taken. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Um, Good evening. This session was so heavy, and somewhere I felt that most of us go through some way or the other. And when I think about the reason, I somewhere feel we are not properly educated before we get married.
Okay.
So we are always being told that you have to adjust, you need to adapt, விட்டு கொடுத்து போகணும், சரின்னு சொன்னா தப்பு கிடையாது, உனக்கு என்ன அவ்வளவு வேண்டியிருக்கு, சரின்னு சொன்னாதான் என்ன. So these are all the things so when we hear such things, from there itself, from my point of view, why should I say okay for everything? Why? This question arises that agitates us more. So at that point, when the other person or a spouse or tells something, where even they might be even right, logically okay also. I don't want to listen to you. That attitude prevails because we have been told since very long time, நீ பொண்ணு கொஞ்சம் விட்டு கொடுத்து தான் போகணும், நீ பெரியவ நீ விட்டு கொடுத்து தான் போகணும். So the constant கேட்டுட்டே இருந்து யாராவது நம்ம கிட்ட லாஜிக்கலா சாதாரணமா பேசினா கூட we are not in a position to listen to them properly. We are in a judgmental position that they are trying to impose their ideas into our minds. They are trying to over dominate us. So all these things starts. The problem starts from there only. Somewhere I really feel. And since these things are so sensitive, we are really very clueless with whom to share.
Hmm.
At least in our generation, we have some people, those who are very true to us, friends type, where we can really share with people to when we vent it out, at least, okay, fine, true. சுடு அப்படின்னு ஆகும். பட் nowadays I feel pity on these children. I literally feel pity on these present generation. They do not know the real meaning of friendship. இவாளால எனக்கு இன்னைக்கு என்ன உதவி ஆகணும், so they are my friend. That is how they are developing friendship also. And why not you tell your friend, என் பொருளையே நான் கேட்டா, ஏண்டா அது கொஞ்சம் குழந்தையா இருக்கே, அது கொஞ்சம் சொல்லக்கூடாதா, உன் ஃப்ரெண்டு தானடா அப்படின்னு சொன்னா, மாமா அதுல எல்லாம் நான் தலையிட மாட்டேன். I will not tell him anything. He has to go through. If he comes, I will ask. Hmm. You know, they are totally out of it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to get into it. அப்புறம் அவன் ஏதாவது சொல்லுவான், நான் பொண்ணா சொல்லிட்டு போட்டுமேடா உன் ஃப்ரெண்டு தானே. They are not ready to take it. So it's all kind of khichdi type இருக்கு மேம் சீரியஸ்லி பார்த்தா. And ego, the self ego is so high. Be it woman, be it man. அது எப்படி நான் எப்படி சாரி கேட்பேன் உங்ககிட்ட, நான் எப்படி உனக்கு தேங்க்யூ சொல்வேன். ஐ எம் ஃபேசிங் திஸ் வித் த சில்ட்ரன். சாரி விடுங்கோ, தேங்க்யூ சொல்ல தெரியல. when somebody is helping, சே தேங்க்யூன்னு நம்ம சொல்ல வேண்டியதா இருக்கு. சே தேங்க்யூ சொன்னா நம்ம முஞ்சிய பாக்குறதுக்கு குழந்தைகள். ஸோ நவ் the world has become so weird and very 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 self-centered. I don't know where it will end up.
Maybe from the
But
beginning, when adults like us can help children develop in a healthy way, because we have some roles to play in helping them. Maybe we can do
definitely,
that.
ma'am.
Not,
Yes.
it's easy to mold the younger generation than those who are already into it.
Very true, ma'am. So that is the reason, I was talking about IB curriculum, ma'am. So when you see their themes, they call it as learner profiles, like being little principled, being little open-minded, or so. So we talk about this through stories or some scenarios or something like that. So at one point of time, we get into that point. What do you think? This character is saying like that. Is it right? So if you were in such situation, what will you do? Like that, we question, we discuss. So it goes up to, PYP is up to grade 5, and after grade 6, it goes as subject specific things. So I really liked about this IB curriculum is all about value education, which everybody has lost it all over. Now education is how to earn money,
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
not even being how
Thank
to
you.
socialize.
Thank you for
So
your
it was
sharing.
really, yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am. And the
Yes.
takeaway was, you beautifully said one thing, that the way to approach. So if you say it in this way, they will definitely try to think about it how to help. Okay, she
Whether
is
they
saying in a
helps or
nice
not,
way.
whether it helps or not is still a question mark. But still, trying
Huh.
is the responsibility of the survivor rather than always sitting in the victim state.
Yeah, ma'am. Somewhere I felt this is the best way to do also,
And
because
also,
I have
if
tried this with my
just let
children.
them go, no, மன்னிச்சு விட்டுறலாம். ஓகே, உனக்கு
Ah,
உனக்கு பணம் தானே வேணும். உனக்கு ஓகே, உனக்கு வந்து இந்த ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் தானே உனக்கு ரொம்ப முக்கியமாக படுது. இஃப் இட் கேன் ஆல்சோ பி அ எக்ஸ்ட்ரா மேரிட்டல் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப். அதுதானே உனக்கு வேணும். ஓகே, எடுத்துக்க. பட் நான் வந்து தள்ளி இருந்துக்கிறேன். மனசளவில் உன்னை நான் மன்னிச்சிட்டேன்.
ah.
That kind of a thing.